My therapist kept canceling her sessions, so I showed up at her office unannounced and found out why she really needed therapy more than I did. I started seeing Dr. Sarah Chen 6 months ago for anxiety and depression after my divorce. She was this put-together woman in her 40s with perfect handwriting and a calm voice that made you feel like everything would be okay. Her office was exactly what you'd expect: soft lighting, comfortable chairs, tissues strategically placed everywhere. For the first 2 months, our sessions were consistent. Every Thursday at 3 p.m. I'd sit in that beige chair and unload my problems while she took notes and asked thoughtful questions. She helped me understand my triggers, taught me breathing exercises, and slowly I started feeling more like myself again. Then the cancellation started. First, it was a family emergency, then she had the flu, then a scheduling conflict. At first I was understanding life happens, right, but by the 3rd month I was getting cancelled on more than I was actually having sessions. Each time her assistant would call with a different excuse. Dr. Chen is dealing with a personal matter. Dr. Chen needs to reschedule due to an unexpected situation. Dr. Chen will be out of the office indefinitely. I'd reschedule, clear my calendar, drive across town, only to get another cancellation call an hour before the appointment. It was making my anxiety worse, which felt ironic since therapy was supposed to help with that. After the 8th cancellation in 2 months, I decided to just show up. Maybe if I was physically there, we could finally have a session. I needed to talk to someone, and I'd been seeing her long enough that switching therapists felt like starting over. I walked into the building where her practice was located, took the elevator to the 3rd floor, and headed toward her office. The waiting room was empty, which wasn't unusual, but I could hear voices coming from behind her office door, not just talking voices, crying voices. I sat down to wait, assuming she was with another patient who was having a breakthrough moment, but as I listened more carefully, I realized one of the crying voices belonged to Dr. Chen. Through the door, I could hear another woman's voice saying things like, "It's okay to feel overwhelmed, and you're carrying so much right now, and how are you sleeping?" My therapist was in therapy. I sat there for 20 minutes listening to Dr. Chen sob about her divorce, her teenage daughter who wouldn't speak to her, and how she felt like a fraud helping other people when her own life was falling apart. She talked about canceling patient appointments because she couldn't stop crying, and how guilty she felt taking money from people when she was barely functioning. When the session ended, I quickly moved to a chair facing away from the door. I heard Dr. Chen's therapist leave first, then waited a few minutes before knocking on the office door. Dr. Chen opened it and her eyes were red and puffy. She looked shocked to see me. "I am sorry," I said. "I know I didn't have an appointment, but I was hoping we could talk. I've been struggling with all the cancellations." She looked panicked. "I am so sorry I can't today. I am not. I am having a difficult time right now, I know," I said gently. I heard her face went white. "You heard, Dr. Chen, you've helped me more in 4 months than I thought possible. You taught me that it's okay to not be okay, and that asking for help is brave, not weak. You are doing exactly what you taught me to do." She started crying again, but this time she invited me in. We sat in her office, and for the first time she wasn't the composed professional I'd known. She was just a person going through a hard time. "I felt like such a hypocrite," she said. "How could I help you with your divorce when I couldn't handle my own? How could I teach you coping strategies when I was falling apart? Because you know what it feels like," I told her. "You weren't helping me from some perfect place where you had all the answers. You were helping me because you understood the struggle." We talked for an hour, not as therapist and patient, but as two people who were both trying to figure out how to rebuild their lives. She told me about her daughter, her ex-husband, her fear that she was failing everyone who counted on her. I told her that knowing she was human made me trust her more, not less. Dr. Chen took a month off to focus on her own healing. When she came back, she was different. She'd share appropriate moments from her own experience, and somehow that made her advice even more powerful. Sometimes the people helping us heal are healing too. That doesn't make them less qualified to help. It makes them more qualified to understand.